the partnership with Bozeman Health on neonatal intensive care. The fact that two supposed competitors would say, how do we best serve these infants that are in crisis? In Montana, which is a big state, having enough of the right specialists in one place is really very difficult to do. To see the health systems around the state specializing in certain things where they can have the volume and the quality and the staff to really do a great job.
We had his last appointment at 8 in the morning. I started going into labor when we were getting ready to go. So by the time we got into the hospital, I was pretty much ready to have him and had him at 9 o'clock. His oxygen level was low, so his breathing was a little off. So that's what got him into the NICU. The hospital actually got us set up with a hotel room in Bozeman, so that helped out a lot. And he stayed in another 2 or 3 nights. We didn't think they would cover all that, I guess. So that was a surprise, and we're really grateful.
Tiger was about 3 months old when we got to Helena, and then a month after we got here, I found out that I was pregnant with River. When I got here, I started noticing that I had like some shortness of breath when I was walking around. I didn't think anything of it. One day I had a really bad leg cramp, so I called my OBGYN with St. Pete's.
Tracy had some severe clotting disorders that she started having issues super early in her pregnancy, and spent a lot of the beginning of her pregnancy either in the hospital or like on bed rest. She had to have her gallbladder removed during pregnancy.
Which is very hard to do when there's a baby inside. At that point, I was seeing my doctor weekly. The labor and delivery nurses, every time I ended up going to the hospital, they knew to look out for me because they knew that I was getting closer to my due date. I felt like I was in good hands. The surgery, the infection, I'm quite confident things could have went a whole nother direction, and my husband might not have his wife here with him anymore, and my kids might not have their mom.
One of the biggest challenges is that this is somebody's precious miracle. This is their everything.
And so I had River, and I just felt myself tearing up, and I just like, finally he's here, and I was so worried for nothing.
We were pregnant with identical twin girls, and then I went in for my last ultrasound and checkup. They were watching their heart rates, and then noticed that baby B's was slowing down more, and then it started dropping quite rapidly. So it became quite apparent very quickly that it was an urgent situation, and I was rushed into the operating room for an emergency C-section. So they delivered both of my babies. They both went into the NICU, and after a while, they tried everything that they could do, but it came to a certain point where her twin sister, Jacqueline, did not survive. She lived for 1 day. So we had 1 day that we spent with her, holding her and soaking up every moment that we could with her before she passed.
I think some of the things that you experience over the years of being a nurse is, some losses, some extreme situations. Also, then you grow as a person, have your own children, have nieces and nephews, and recognize, what an impact you can make as a nurse.
Terry Temple is a longtime nurse. She's been a nurse for 30 or 40 years. It was very powerful to be able to hear from someone who had gone through what we were going through immediately after the event and give us some sort of hope and confidence that we were going to be okay. I remember her telling us, "You're going to be okay." Yeah, she's an asset to the hospital, and I think that it is so important that any family that goes through anything at all like what we went through has access to Terry to come see them, talk with them, support them in those first fragile days where your pain is so incredibly raw.
Just amazing that people you don't know can help you that significantly during your lowest moments of your life. It's amazing what a little kindness can do.
There's some church groups that make little beanies for the babies to take home. And I think some of those things, because the nurses get to hand them out and say, this is from us for your baby, they feel supported with that.
The foundation plays some part in the blankets and the hats that we received are so important to us because for Jacqueline, that's all we have to hold on to her is those few things that were part of her short day-long life along with her pictures. I just really think that it is so important that Terry gets to continue to do the work that she does for other families that experience a loss. And hearing from her that, the foundation needs this support so that she could continue to support families full time, that was what made it a deal for me. I was like, oh, I have to do this. I have to tell our story. I have to keep Jacqueline's spirit alive in a meaningful way. And how better could I do that if it means that I can get a few more people to understand the importance and impact of what Terry does for families at that hospital.
Thank you cards don't really mean much. I mean, for the past few months, you guys literally took care of my life and made certain that I was healthy from when my baby got here and for my family. So I'm sorry, all I can give you is a thank you card. I wish I could give you so much more.
Wow, it's just a huge relief, and it's the last thing you want to worry about when you have a baby. And I don't know, aside from thank you, it's hard to come up with words.
I would say that an act that would be seemingly small to you can make a forever impact on somebody's life. It really can, because these few little things that I know that all came to us because of volunteers are the only few little things that we have as tangible objects of our daughter that is not with us here on earth.